Good afternoon, everybody. We thought it was time to make this video. Ooh, and the gnats are bad. Ooh, so we'll be waving like that. I hope you can hear us. Should I move it a little closer? So, I did a video the night that all this happened, the beginning of June. And my skills aren't good, but I will try to link that video at the end of this video so you can watch it. When summer first started, before school was out, my grandson Isaiah got expelled from school for some sexually deviant behavior. And we had it all set up that we were gonna clean the pool out here at camp. Isaiah and I, because it was going to be his first summer job, and I was excited for him to be able to do it. So when he got expelled from school, it coincided with the pool opening, which we had been worried about because I was still going to have kids in school. Well, I didn't have him in school all of a sudden. So I brought him out here, and it was the very first weekend, and there was some trouble out here. We were worried about him with another little girl out here. He was down in the bathrooms at the pool house. He and I got in a fight, an altercation, and he wouldn't come out of the bathroom down there. I told him he couldn't be in the bathrooms because, you know, little kids go in the bathrooms. Parents don't want teenage boys skulking around in the bathroom where their little kids go to the bathroom. Anyways, he ended up hitting me. He didn't hit me hard, but he hit me. I thought about it. I didn't want to call the police, but we have, so far, you know, we've really kept a paper trail of all the troubles we've had because we thought it would do us some good. So I called the police. Oh, I called my husband first, and I said, should I? And he said yes. And so I called the police, and I was waiting on the police, and my grandson was cussing me and talking bad to me, and it was a mess. The police came out, and Keith came out with my other grandson, Joe. And they didn't do much. They talked to him, and Isaiah said, if I have to continue living with them, I'm gonna kill myself. So they had an ambulance come pick him up and take him all the way to Grayling. That's like an hour, well, 40-minute drive. And I had to go to the hospital. I was at the hospital with them, and that's where I made the video, saying I think I've failed, and I can't do this. We're not doing the right thing, and it's just getting out of control. Well, when I got home, Keith had simmered on this for a long time, and he came home with little Joe from camp late at night, and he woke up Isaiah, and Isaiah went ballistic, and he was going to tell him, you know, you can't hit your grandma, and it ended up being a big giant fight where Keith had to hold him so he wouldn't hit him, and he still hit him in the ears and stuff like that. Well, the police came, and Keith ended up going to jail for domestic violence. So let me back up. Isaiah also got a ticket for domestic violence, but he went to the hospital because he said, I'm gonna kill myself. So he didn't get in any trouble. He got, oh, this poor kid, and he went to the hospital. So Keith had to go to jail for the night, and he got out the next day. And he has a no contact order with Isaiah for a year on the ticket, right? He hired a lawyer. He had to come out here to camp because he couldn't go home. And he hired a lawyer, and it's a mess. CPS became involved because of the adult minor thing. So we now have CPS in our life. They told me, I said, I can't do this anymore. He's hitting us. It's, you know, it's gotten out of control. We've had the police at our house at least a dozen times. Excuse me, I should have brought my water. I ended up driving to Texas, which I made a couple of videos of, on the advice of his used to be lawyer from when we got guardianship, she's a nice lady, and she tried to help us out, and CPS from here, from Michigan, and they said they were talking to CPS in Texas, and they told me this is what you need to do. You can no longer take care of him. He's out of your control. The lawyer told me if you get him down here, we can get him in some residential care. Well, he will get the help that he needs, because we're not the help that he needs. We're struggling. We've been struggling for 5 years, and we've tried really hard, and it's just gotten worse and worse. Well, when I got to Texas, I was demeaned and put down and belittled and told, what are you doing in Texas? You have no business in Texas. You should be in Michigan. They should be taking care of this. Michigan says, no, you should be in Texas. I ended up going home with my tail between my legs and Isaiah in the back seat. And we have been battling this ever since. We got a prosecutor that really went after Keith, and he has done a plea deal. He's supposed to get a probation, but they're not letting him back in the house. And we thought it was just a matter of time. We thought the plea deal was part of getting back in the house. And according to other people we keep talking about, it just keeps going on and on. His soon-to-be probation officer said, you might not get back in the house till after probation. His sentencing is coming up. Isaiah's case is coming up. Isaiah's case dragged on because they had to transfer it from this county or township here to where we live. So it took forever to even get going. He'll probably be on probation.
Well, it's funny, we have the same prosecutor. Isaiah and I have the same prosecutor.
It's a little town. It's a little town, and from everything I've read, anything where it's a minor and adult, they're going to go after the adult. Yeah, there's a lot of things I've read lately. Also, we found out, the one thing I did find out when I went to Texas, they had a big meeting, a Zoom meeting, and my mom listened in too, because I asked her to. And the one thing her and I got out of it is that it's the jurisdiction thing. Supposedly, if you want to end your guardianship, you file a petition. But I found out you have to file a petition where the guardianship begins, not where you live. So I would have to go back to Texas. But Texas has already told me they want nothing to do with us because we're residents of Michigan. I also found out that Texas and Michigan are two of, I think, only 4 or so states that haven't signed this document, this motion, whatever it is, to where it's easy to move from state to state, because people move all the time, and it should just transfer. But Texas and Michigan are two of those states that haven't signed that, so they don't have to do it. It says Michigan in good faith should take it over, and you know, he's a resident, we don't have any problems there, but the guardianship thing, I would have to change the jurisdiction to Michigan, or I would have to go live at the tiny house in Texas for a while. And it can take 6 months to a year. We've got Isaiah for 3 more years. So, right now,
we're separated.
We're separated. We're not separated. We're together.
Legally, law is keeping us apart.
But the law is keeping us apart. Now, Keith has been with me since the beginning with Isaiah. We even had Isaiah a year before. We got full custody of him a couple years. There was a couple year gap in between. So, I mean, he's been in the boys' lives for over 10 years. Going on 11, I think now, huh? But now, even though Keith helps me do everything, you know, we go to team class Isaiah meetings and counseling and, you know, just everything we do. Bus driving, theater things. It's 2 boys and they're teenagers and they do a lot. And Keith has always been by my side and always been there. And if he's not helping me with the boys, he's at home taking care of my dogs. And so now we're just kind of a mess. We are a mess. And we're trying to get through this. And we wanted to let you know the big reveal. And we wanted to let you know as a cautionary tale to other grandparents out there and other parents out there, how dangerous this can be if you have a troubled child. Because they're going to pick the child over you every time. And in some cases, maybe that's the way it should be. But
not all cases.
Not all cases. Not all cases. And I'm sure we're not the only ones out there, because I've done a lot of reading, and I know there are a lot of people with troubled kids, troubled grandkids that they're raising. I know we're not the only ones. We're the only ones I know that are in this situation right now. So there you go. There's what's going on with us. He could be here all winter, and he can't stay here all winter. We're going to have to figure something out, because this place has to get shut down. So we've got a road ahead of us. And it's going to be tough, but it's been tough since we took Isaiah into our home. So we've got a new parent plan. Ronald is he's a senior this year, and we want to make sure Ronald has a good year. So
he deserves it.
He deserves it. He's a good boy. I mean, all kids deserve a good life. Don't get us wrong. But he has taken the back seat for 5 years because of his brother. There have been things that, he hasn't gotten to do, or just, time that we haven't spent with him because we've been so wrapped up in this. And so after all of this and what we have learned, we're pretty much gonna be hands off now. I mean, we were hands off already, don't get me wrong. We didn't spank Isaiah. He's never been spanked in our home. He's never been any of those things. There's never been that. But we've been trying to help Isaiah be an average kid. We thought maybe there was a way through this where he would come out shining in the end. And he may still, who knows. But as far as our part, as far as struggling and family therapy and things like that, we're going to take a back seat. I'm going to get Isaiah in some counseling again. He was kicked out of counseling because the counselor couldn't help him. So he's had a case manager. He's still been going through services all this time. But I'm going to get him back in, and I'm not going to go in family counseling with him because he uses those sessions to bash us. And I have told the people there that I'm just not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to be in that position anymore. I told Isaiah he needs to get help for himself, and he needs to leave us out of it, which I'm sure he won't, but I'm going to do my best to say, you see what you can do to help him. Because we are a good family. We have been a good family for this young man, and we are a good family for our grandson who is going to graduate this year and who loves us and loves his life. So that's where we are right now. We're struggling. I haven't made a lot of videos lately. I'm pretty depressed. I'm trying to work on it. He's trying to work on it. And, in the meantime, I'm still taking care of boys and getting them ready for school and doing all the things that I'm supposed to be doing at home, while still trying to keep an eye on my dad and step in and see him once in a while, and that's been really tough. I need to step that up a little bit. So...
And she takes care of me out here, all my laundry, all my grocery shopping. She's just tugged in too many directions right now. It's killing her. It's beating her down.
So thanks y'all for hanging with us. And I thought you deserved this, to hear what's going on. And if you're raising grandkids, be careful. If you're raising troubled kids, be careful.
And I'm 60 days sober today. There's no room for drinking in this whole affair. It's not good, so I've decided that that's it. I'm done. I was sober for 5 years. I can do it for the rest of my life now.
So there you go, y'all. Here we are. And we're going to stay together, and we're going to keep you involved in our lives, and I'm going to keep making videos, and I'm going to come out the other side of this depression I got going on. And Apollo looks like a mangy old dog, Craig, in case you watch this to the end. But I have medicine that has got him to stop itching, and he is turning around. He won't look good for another month or so when his hair grows back. But yeah, and he stinks because the medicine we're putting on him doesn't smell good. But he's okay. He's on the upswing. And I'll give you a video of him when he's looking better. He's around here somewhere.
He's nervous. All this is making him very neurotic.
He is. He's a nervous dog anyways. And then he gets allergies too, I think, on top of it. And he just starts scratching and he won't stop until it's turned into something else, you know, an infection or whatever it is. I think it's some kind of bacterial infection or something maybe. But we got it turned around. He's getting better. So yeah, that's our life, y'all. Our crazy neurotic dog, our crazy teenage grandson, our gonna graduate this year grandson who is scared to go take the test again for his driver's license because I need him to get his driver's license now. Got a lot going on. Garden went by the wayside kind of, but I got a bunch of acorn squash and I got raspberries coming, and I had strawberries this year. We still had family come visit. We have family that has used the beach house down at the coast a couple times. His dad's going there today. And we're gonna keep on with our life, and it's gonna improve. Okay, things are gonna get better on our end. And thank y'all for watching and sticking with us. If you even made it to the end of this video, I appreciate it. I'm not sure why I would say like and subscribe and gives me a thumbs up right now, because this is a pretty sad video. It's drama though. I don't know if it's the right kind of drama, but it's drama. That's it, right?
Yes.
He didn't cry, but he looked a little... It's tough. Y'all take it easy. That's it.